Remember in our last video when we talked about outdated features? One of the biggest changes that made many of those features obsolete is what we'll explore today, dynamic arrays. They're not just a new formula type. They're a complete shift in how Excel handles data. Before dynamic arrays, you had to manually copy formulas, drag ranges, and worry about mismatched cell references. Now, a single formula can spill its results automatically. Let's see how this works and why it truly bridges the gap between old Excel and modern Excel. I've prepared a small table called Sales Data. It has 5 columns: region, product, units sold, price, and revenue. I've also added another column next to the table, with an old array formula already entered. It's a great example of how people used to extract unique lists before dynamic arrays even existed. In older versions of Excel, formulas could only return one value per cell. So if you wanted a list of unique products from a table, there was no simple way to do it. Instead, you had to use a long, hard-to-read array formula like the one you can see in F2. This formula combines functions like index, match, and COUNTIF to build a list of unique products. It looks complicated, and it had to be confirmed with Ctrl+Shift+Enter. When you pressed that key combination, Excel added curly braces around it to show it was an array formula that told Excel to process the entire column of products at once, not just one cell. You'll also notice that the array formula fills the entire column of the table, but it only displays values in 14 rows. Those 14 entries correspond to the unique products in the dataset. All other rows stay blank because the formula tells Excel to return an empty string once all unique values have been found. Even in modern Excel, this formula still works, but it behaves the same way as before. Each row calculates separately, and there's no true spill range. It's clever, but not dynamic. Now, in modern Excel, we can finally do this properly. I go to H2 and type =, unique, open parentheses, select the product column, close parentheses, and press Enter. That single function replaces the entire old formula. It automatically spills the list of unique products below the cell. No copying, no dragging, no Ctrl+Shift+Enter. You'll see a thin blue border around the spill area. That's Excel showing which cells belong to this one dynamic formula. And that's the key point. The unique function itself is a dynamic array function. Now here's something important. Dynamic array formulas like unique don't work inside tables. Tables are built for row-by-row logic, while dynamic arrays need open space to spill their results across multiple cells. If you place one directly next to your last column, Excel will automatically expand the table, and that turns your formula into part of it. The spill area disappears, and the formula stops working. To avoid that, always leave at least one blank column or cell between your table and the dynamic array formula. The Smart Table expansion is great for adding new datasets, because new rows automatically extend your structured data. And those same structured references, like sales data product, are perfect inputs for your dynamic array formulas. Together, they give you the best of both worlds. A table that grows with your data, and dynamic formulas that instantly reflect every change. Now that the unique function is working, let's look at the syntax of it for a moment. The first argument, array, is simply the range or column you want to check for duplicates. In our case, sales data product. The second, by col, is optional. It tells Excel whether to look for unique values by column instead of by row. That's useful for horizontal data, but we can leave it out here. The third, exactly once, is also optional. If you set this to true, Excel will return only those values that appear exactly once in the source list and excludes any item that appears more than once. By default, it's false, which means Excel returns one of each distinct value, even if that value appears multiple times in your data. In this example, we only need the first argument, the array. So our formula stays simple. It returns one of each product name, automatically and dynamically. Dynamic arrays don't just return multiple results. They let us build on those results instantly. For example, I can sort my unique product list with a single addition. I go back to H2, click into the formula, and type sort open parenthesis right before unique, then move to the end and add a closing parenthesis. This one formula takes our unique list and orders it instantly. Let's look at the syntax of it. The sort function has 4 arguments. The first argument, array, is the range or list you want to sort. Here, that's our unique result. The second, sort index, tells Excel which column to sort by if you're sorting a table or multiple columns. For a single list, we can skip it. The third, sort order, defines the direction, 1 for ascending and -1 for descending. And the fourth, by col, tells Excel whether to sort by column instead of by row. We can leave it out here. Since we're sorting one column alphabetically, we don't need any of the optional parts. Finally, let's show only the top 3 results. I'll wrap it once more in a take function. So I type take before sort, open parenthesis, go to the end of the formula, type comma 3, and close parenthesis. The take function uses two main arguments, array and rows. Array is what we want to reduce. Here it's the sorted unique list. Rows tells Excel how many results to keep. Positive numbers take rows from the top, negative numbers from the bottom. So 3 keeps just the first 3 items from our sorted list. Notice how we're nesting functions. Excel evaluates them from the inside out. Unique creates the distinct list, sort reorders it, and take trims the final result. This nested readable syntax is what makes modern formulas both powerful and easy to follow. Now that my final formula is complete, let's see how we can use its results somewhere else. The great thing about dynamic arrays is that other formulas can automatically reference their spilled results. My final formula is in cell H2. To use the entire spilled result somewhere else, I go to I2 and simply type =, H2, hash symbol, and press enter. That little hash means spill range. It tells Excel to grab everything that spills from the original cell. So if the formula in H2 shows 5 items today and 8 items tomorrow, that reference updates automatically, no more adjusting ranges or editing formulas. Excel keeps them in sync. You can even use that spill reference inside another function. For example, if I want to see how many times each top product appears in the dataset, I go to J2 and type =, COUNTIF, open parenthesis. Select the product column, comma, H2, hash symbol, close parenthesis. This returns a spilled list of counts, one number for each product in H2 hash. Or I can pull all columns for those top products with filter. I go to K2 and type =, filter, open parenthesis, sales data, comma, COUNTIF, open parenthesis, H2, hash symbol, comma, select the product column, close parenthesis twice. Excel instantly returns all sales columns where the product is in the H2 hash list. And this is where dynamic arrays start to feel alive. Formulas that talk to each other automatically. No range maintenance. No manual updates. So that's dynamic arrays, the bridge between old and modern Excel. They replaced the old array formulas, made reports fully dynamic, and simplified how data connects across your workbook. You've seen how one formula can spill results, link seamlessly, and combine with others to build powerful, flexible analyses. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more modern Excel insights here on Excel Hive. And as always, happy Excelling!